Welcome to the Vinny Rock Podcast.
Much more than this, I did it my way.
What's up with the Vinny Rock Podcast? I'm here with my boy Clayton Cardenas.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Real quick before we start, we're going to go ahead and do the podcast sponsors. I don't know if you know this, but the past year now, since after last season, I jumped on TRT. You know,
what is that? What's
that's
TRT?
Testosterone replacement therapy.
Okay.
I had my hormones checked with a company called Core Medical Group, and they actually test my hormones and make sure everything is good and they regulated. I had very low T.
Wow.
And I think that's a big reason why I've been not just out of shape, but also unmotivated to get myself back in shape.
Right.
A lot of different things, a lot of things that most men probably don't realize. They have low T until they go get tested. And so what I do on this podcast, I make sure I tell a lot of veterans in the space who get out of the military dealing with a lot of stress in their life, have come to found a lot of these guys have low T. And obviously low T for a male is shitty. And so guys listening right now, if you guys feel you have symptoms of that, of slowing down, of not recovering as fast, of feeling almost unmotivated, unlike what you used to, you should go get your levels checked. It seems to be a lot of veterans. Out of 40 veterans that were tested, 39 needed their testosterone.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's the name of this company again? I'm sorry.
It's called Core Medical Group.
Core Medical Group?
They can actually, they can do a blood test anywhere in the United States, and they can ship you your medication directly to your house, anywhere.
Wow. So it's not a place that you actually go to?
Yeah, I don't have to show up to know.
Nice.
So they'll find a blood work place location somewhere near you. You pay I think it's $120, and then they'll within a week they'll tell you what your levels are at.
Right
and
on.
if you're good, you're good.
Right on.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I like the privacy of that as well. Right.
Yeah, for sure. And then they just send it directly to your house.
Very cool.
Bing bang boom.
Bing bang boom.
Testosterone adjusted. I am now running at normal levels. I feel good. I feel like I'm actually putting in the work at the gym that I need to, and as well as I'm seeing the effects of being able to turn muscle back.
Well, I've been meaning to tell you that, bro. You look mad normal.
Good?
Yeah.
I look good?
Mad normal, bro.
What does that mean?
It means mad good.
Good. I'm trying, bro.
You're looking really good, man.
It's hard though, man. Like I try to focus on eating smart. I try and do the low carb things, but sometimes it just doesn't make sense in our lifestyle.
Yeah.
I need to eat some fucking good carbs and then just have a good workout session the next day.
Yeah, well, specifically with your lifestyle with kids, man. I couldn't imagine. Kids and all the businesses you have. I mean, I have 2 plants and I struggle.
Yeah,
I struggle.
My
man.
kids. Oh, I blame them.
Good.
No, I love them. It's finding a balance in my life and being okay with when I am home, giving myself a little time for myself.
Yeah.
It's been tough.
Do you find the time to do that? I mean,
I'm
like
learning to.
specifically, like take out a certain period of the day to say this is just for me.
So what I found is if I wake up earlier than everyone else, I don't feel so bad because I'm not taking in their time. Because any time I'm with them is their time,
Right.
in my head,
Right. Yeah.
So I have to find the time that is mine, and it seems to be either early in the morning or
Right.
late at night.
Right.
But late at night is usually my wife's time. You know what I mean?
For sure.
My manager's calling right now. I'm just going to go ahead and set that
Should
as a
we take that?
reminder. No. We're doing a podcast with my man.
Way more important than whatever they got to say.
Yeah, he's going to hear this and be like, what the fuck,
What the
bro?
fuck were you talking about?
Another thing I want to talk about, let's see, another sponsor I got, Beyond Clothing. Beyond Clothing is outwear expeditionary clothing. You like to hike and camp.
I do.
Well, you like to hike, for
I like to
sure.
hike.
Beyond Clothing is a company that has very quality outdoor gear for the expeditionary person, right? It's someone who likes to go outdoors, which I want to get into camping soon. We should try and go on a camping trip. That'd be freaking
Well,
cool.
I'm more into glamping.
Well, we can go glamping
All right.
and still dress appropriate. You guys go check out beyondclothing.com or check them out on Instagram, Beyond Clothing. You guys know there's quality with that name. Check them out. You'll love them. Willie Pete's Chocolate is another. You haven't tried these yet.
Ooh, just the sound of Willie Pete.
Do you
man.
like spicy food too?
I like spicy food.
So, dude, this guy goes and grows his own peppers at his house, makes his own chocolate at his house. Well, obviously, he ships in the cocoa and all that stuff.
on.
But he has different chocolate levels of Scoville units. You know what that is?
I don't even know what chocolate levels mean, bro.
Well, I'm talking about spice level. So they rate spicy food in Scoville units or like peppers.
Yeah.
And like a jalapeno, I believe, is somewhere in like the 3,000 to 6,000 Scoville units. That's how spicy it is.
Where's the habanero at?
It's up there, bro.
It's up there
I'm
too,
thinking it's like
right?
in the 170 maybe. I'm just throwing shit out there,
Right,
but
right.
it's fucking hot as
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
The hottest one I think is the Reaper Pepper or a Carolina Reaper Pepper or some shit like that. Those are fucking like ridiculous.
Have you gotten
I'm
into one of
talking
those?
Millions of Scoville units. Oh, I don't fuck with that shit, dog. What do I look like? That shit gives me heartburn. It makes you give me the runs. Right?
You look like a Latino that would eat something like that. Actually,
I like hot food, man,
Yeah,
but I don't like to be completely uncomfortable. He
Sweaty.
has one
Yeah.
called the Moab, and it's with that Carolina Reaper.
Yeah.
I put my tongue on it, and it burned the fuck
You were
out of
done.
me, dude.
Yeah.
And same with Christy. It was funny as
That's
fuck.
funny. People eat that though. That's what's
They
wild,
love it though.
bro.
It's the contrast between sweet and spicy, right? That's
Yeah.
always a good thing.
Sure.
There's a balance to that.
Sure.
Finding the Willie Peach chocolate that you like. But I do enjoy it. It's a cool thing to just be able to eat some chocolate with spice to it. So
different, yeah.
It's different as fuck.
Willie Pete's chocolate.
Willie Pete's chocolate is the motherfucker that does that.
Okay.
We're also coming out. Me and him partnered up on doing a hot sauce. It's more of like a smoky, barbecue-y. Dude, you'll love it. I'll send you one.
Yeah, please.
Fuck yes.
Please.
Also, check out Perseverance Survival. Oh, you know those Whoopi hoodies that everyone keeps talking
Yeah,
about?
everybody wants one of those.
Bro, they're dope. Actually, if you're listening, but big guy, I need a, what was it? What size was fucking Herbie?
Extra small.
Do you have a petite? That's hilarious. You guys go check out Perseverance Survival. They also have Ranger panties. If you don't know what those are, you're lost in the world. You need them. You need to get a pair of Ranger panties.
I'm totally
too.
lost because
You
I have
need those.
no idea.
They're just small shorts that we use in physical fitness for
Oh,
PT.
right on. Yeah, yeah.
But they're comfortable as fuck.
Yeah.
They're made usually like out of a kind of a silk material.
Bro, those are kind of in style now. I don't know if you know.
I've noticed that.
Yeah.
I'm just, I stay away from the trends. I
Right.
try to because they make you start looking weird, and then you look at pictures 20 years later and you're embarrassed.
Why the fuck did I do that?
I try and stay in this middle zone,
Right.
bro. If you wear a suit, that it's timeless,
Right.
And fucking you won't be
Right.
embarrassed years
Right.
later. If you start going with the fads, I
Yeah.
feel like fuck, my kid's gonna be like, "What is wrong
Well,
with
it's
you,
wild,
Dad?"
bro. 90s styles back and now. You know what I
Dog,
mean?
my dad wore platforms and I believe bell bottoms in his wedding, right? Like he was a gangster, dog.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like,
Papa is Rocco, man. He's dope. He's dope.
oh, he's cool as
Yeah.
shit, man. Don't forget GMR Gold. Do you collect gold and metal?
I don't.
Well, this is something kind of cool. So I pay $200 a month.
Okay.
And I'm on a monthly subscription, and I receive $200 of value or greater
Wow.
in silver or gold. And
Wow.
the family's been doing this. Like the boys enjoy it. We
Yeah.
open up these gifts or these packages that show up, and it's like fucking presents for these kids.
Cool,
It's
man.
pirate gold sometimes or silver, fucking some patriotic shit,
Right
all
on.
kinds of stuff. The dudes who run that company are super fucking cool, and they're actually very, they're family oriented, and so that's why it made sense to work with these guys.
Sure.
You guys go check out GMR Gold or Bullion Box. Bullion Box is the subscription based. I love them. They're just quality people. Don't forget them. Beard.com. I need to get you some beard oil.
Dude, do you see this? What's going on?
It's doing good though.
It's
not
okay.
bad.
It's okay.
You have natural oils on your face that are not bad. Mine, for some reason, I have dry. If my beard gets, I have a very dry skin, and so the beard oils and the balm, they really help me kind of keep my skin good as well underneath all that, because to deter flaking.
Right.
I get that a lot.
How long does that, like, say you are in the flaky zone, how
Yeah.
long, after you apply it, is it days,
Well,
weeks till it starts?
It will start to help that, but it'll probably take a normal regimen of
Right.
kind of people wash their face.
Right, right.
Very similar. There's the shampoos and conditioners. Some of those can dry out scalps
Right.
and skin. Same. There's beard conditioners, something that's good for your beard as well as it's the same as your scalp, right?
Okay.
And so it's just kind of making sure you're maintaining and taking care of, and I think within a week, dude, you'll start seeing a difference.
It's a daily thing.
Yeah, it's a daily thing. You come out of the shower and you just
Boom.
you whether you use the shampoo and conditioner,
Yeah.
and then you come out, you dry off or damp off a little bit, and then you apply your oils. And it's something that you do just as much as you put on deodorant.
Right on.
Check out beard.com. You guys know where to go. It's called beard.com. Warfighter Tobacco is my fucking cigars. Lead Slinger's Whiskey is my whiskey. Those are two fucking amazing things. You guys go check them out. I'm tired of fucking talking about sponsors. Let's talk about Clayton Cardenas.
Nah, let's talk about us, man.
Let's talk about us. Let's talk about me. Let's talk about one. There's a country song like that. Either way. What's up? What's up, dude?
What's up, bro?
So the last time we talked,
What'd you do?
I fucked
What
up.
happened, man? We had such an insightful talk.
It was seriously a good talk,
Yeah.
man. And you can never recreate a fucking
can't. I
conversation
don't
like
even
that.
know, bro.
I'm not even going to try to because
Don't
we're
even.
just going to have to start all over. But we talked about some awesome stuff, and I fucked up. I think I recorded over what I did or something like that. It's a learning process when you're traveling and trying to do podcasting and how to do that correctly. And so this time I just brought the whole fucking get up. And, you know, we're going to just start from here, man. We're over here. We're working. I can't disclose the location right now, but at the same time, we're just doing our thing. You know, we meet again. We're in the middle of our work, and that's an awesome experience. But you know what? People are going to get to know so much more about that when the time comes, right? When September 3rd comes, you're going to be able to see, and we'll be able to release a lot of our back behind the scenes stuff.
Sure.
But what I like to get into is Clayton. Clayton Cardenas. You know, dude, it's cool to watch everything that's gone on in your life, and we get to know each other personally, and just the evolution of where you're at now, where you were.
Sure.
What is the biggest change that you feel from season 1 to now in your personal life?
In personal, confidence, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it literally is confidence. You know, I questioned myself a lot of season 1, even though I did know what I was doing. Like, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know? And, you know, a lot of that is based off, you know, help from JD Pardo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
no, for sure.
He'll taught me
he'll
so
put you in
much.
check. All of us.
Oh, he puts all of us in check. But as far as just like technical stuff, he's taught me so much about camera.
Yeah.
You know, and that's huge for a lead actor, bro.
Yeah.
If you really understand the camera and you're able to bring the emotional life behind that, there's no stopping you, man. There's no story you cannot tell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's crazy, dude, because, you know, if we peel the layers back on your acting career, I think the biggest opportunity you had before this was the show with
American Crime.
American Crime.
And that, you know, and then, you know, thankful for another castmate of mine.
Yeah.
Of ours, Richard Cabral.
Yeah.
You know, he was a huge influence in the beginning of my career.
Yeah.
You know, watching him on TV and in movies, that was a huge influence.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he goes and tells the producer from American Crime that I may have somebody for you that could play my brother.
Yeah.
So I go in an audition, and there we go.
Dude, it's crazy, bro, because it's this. We were kind of talking about this at breakfast just by chance.
Sure.
Is that you were given the opportunity, you know what I mean, and I'm sure you were scared as fuck
For
of
sure.
like, am I going to be able to perform?
For sure.
Like this guy's putting a lot on the line just saying my name. Now I got to show up.
I have to show up.
Right.
Right.
And from the outside looking in, me personally, watching the show,
Yep.
meeting you guys, then going home, watching the show with my wife and checking it out, I never would have imagined that was your first big gig.
Oh, my God.
Never,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
I was like, man, he's fucking good. Like,
Well-
I felt you've been doing this shit for fucking many, many years, and this is just one of the big fucking list of fucking things
Right,
you've done.
right.
And then we talk more. I'm like, oh shit, that
Yeah.
was like the big step.
Yeah, that was, and I was scared shitless, man. I was scared to death. The first table read.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do the audition the day before, and then the next day I have the table read. They
Yeah.
say, "Can you come?" So I kind of knew I had the job then, but bro, I was scared shitless.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sitting at a table with. It was so funny. I walk into the table read, and Richard had this big smile on his face.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, "You're here," you
Yeah.
know. And so I'm sitting at a table read with Felicity Hoffman, Regina King,
Yeah.
Richard Cabral, Benito Martinez, Connor Jessup, and bro, and then it's me, and I'm like, oh fuck, it's me.
Yeah, names, bro.
Names,
Those are
bro.
names.
And there was a moment in the middle of the table read because Regina King's sitting right next to me, and like accidentally she like grazes my leg, and I fucking freeze, bro. I'm like, oh my god, Regina King just fucking touched my leg. And I'm wilding out, bro. My
Yeah.
mind is spinning. And, you know, you've been in enough table reads to know now where not all actors put everything in on it.
Right.
But, bro, I was giving it everything I got, bro. There were scenes where I'm yelling and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, you know.
And
I'm
everyone's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like, okay. I'm
Okay.
like scaring people. I had no fucking clue. You know,
Yeah.
all I knew is that this was my opportunity to perform.
Yeah.
I knew if I capitalized on it, it would, you know, be beneficial for my future, man.
Bro.
And there we go.
It was huge. And, you know, when you say confidence is what you got from the first season, I guess everything kind of was confirmed, like, fuck yes, you're meant for this.
Sure.
Right?
Sure, of course.
And that's that's got to be a good feeling because, dude, I got front row seats as a fucking spectator to
Right.
this shit as well, right? Like,
Right.
as much as I'm the actor on the show,
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the arts of acting,
Right.
and I'm learning daily.
Right.
And I fucking see you in some of these scenes, and I'm like, fuck, this dude is killing it.
Right.
And,
Thank you, man.
And then to go back up and be like, wow, this is really so. The next step of the biggest opportunity of your life, right? Like first season was, and then boom, you showed up and you killed it, dude.
Thank you, bro.
And you killed it, and fucking.
And thank you, man. And also a lot of it was getting out of my head. Yeah. And as an actor, if you can just trust your gut and go with feeling, bro. Yeah. Feeling, right? Stay out of your head and go live with your heart. Right. And that's not always the easiest thing to do. Yeah. But if you're able to do that, you're able to connect into a scene so much quicker and so much more organic. Does that make sense? Yeah,
dude. Well, there's so much insecurity as an actor because you're performing for everyone else as well as trying to tell the story, right? It's weird. It's very vulnerable being an actor. Of course. And not a lot of people are comfortable being vulnerable. Like, right. And so you can tell who's just allowing themselves to be vulnerable. Right. Which means I think the delivery of emotion is raw and real. Yeah. Besides the other people who are afraid of being vulnerable, which it looks like acting. Yeah. Right. You know what I mean? Of course. Yeah. That's what it is. And so it's like I've learned that from you guys. I feel very comfortable on set, but like I just every day I'm taking notes and learning from the best of the best right now. It's fucking awesome. And to say confidence, like it's cool because I never thought you weren't confident, right? God. Jesus, you know what I'm saying? I never knew that. But not seeing you on there, like it's fucking cool to hear that. Right. Yeah, that's fucking real cool, especially for someone that's like young in the acting world to hear that.
Right, man. And yeah, and I think all of us, I think from top to bottom, in this industry, there's always a little bit of insecurity. Yeah. Right. But it's how much do you show? Right. And it's this veil that not all of us want to unveil. Yeah. Right. But what I found from the best of them, man, is like that's not ever gonna go away. Yeah. Right. It's how much do you empower that insecurity? Right. Right. And the best don't empower that at all. Right. But it is there. Right. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's almost a tool.
Exactly.
You can use it in your benefit or it could hurt you.
Exactly.
Fucking A. So outside of that in your personal life, what are some major changes that you've made to hopefully go into this season, ready and prepared?
A lot of myself in season 1, I was sacrificing my time for others, and
the little time that we have during the season, right?
And being in relationships and having friendships, you feel obligated to give your time to those people, man.
For sure.
And what I found for myself is like it wasn't serving my career. Right. And that's not to say that I will learn the balance, but I haven't learned that balance yet. Yeah. Right. So I have to because I give my everything to this, bro. Yeah. My everything from top to bottom, my full heart, I give it, and the audience sees it and feels it. Right. And it makes me feel good. Right. But because I don't have kids, I think it's a different situation. Right. Right. Maybe once I do have kids, I will learn to sacrifice that time now. But for me, the biggest change personally from season 2 is that time not sacrificed.
Yeah, they say that, time is actually the most valuable thing that we have, and who you choose to use that time on is on you, right? Like that's everything. Why do you think there's successful businesses out there like Uber and like Uber Eats? It's because it saves people time to do anything. Like, what's the most convenient thing? Why is that? Because we value our time. And if you're starting to waste time, and I say it's not necessarily waste, but if you're not spending the time wisely, especially in your career, right? And like I have to spend my time wisely on how I delegate that time, whether what's with my kids, with my wife, what's with business, and what's with acting, right? I want to be able to commit more to acting, but I don't have, I say right now, the only opportunity I have is Mayans, and I'm very comfortable in my position at Mayans, and I haven't been pushed out of my comfort zone to feel I need to like really commit more. Right. I give everything I can, but it's an interesting space where I have to learn to, you either go all in or you don't. Right. And I want to go all in. Right. I just have to find where that fits into my life.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
It's interesting. We're at opposite ends of that spectrum, right?
Like, here's the thing. I have a Rolodex of emotions for my life, of all the hardships, all the goods, the bads, and everything. So I don't feel like I'm ever going to have trouble reaching for an emotion that someone brings up in a character. Like, hey, I need you to do this. I need you to laugh. I need you to cry. I need you to feel heartbroken. Mm-hmm. All those things. I don't feel I'm going to have problems, bringing that to the table. But I haven't been pushed there yet, so
Right.
I don't know.
You don't know, and I don't know, and I don't know.
Yeah,
you know, so it's like I don't know.
But I feel having life experiences, having kids, and all that gives me a little bit of like, oh, I feel comfortable in like knowing I need to perform for them too, right? Like what I do is not for me. What I do is for them, right? They want food on the table, they want clothes, they want, schools, whatever the case is. I have to perform to the best of my abilities to be able to provide for them as well, and so there's a motivation behind like acting is I'm sitting here like, put me in coach, right? Like let me know when it's my time because I want to show the world I can do it, right? And you were like, you're there though. You're the starting pitcher, you're the starting shortstop, and you have to be ready to play, right? You have to be engaged in. You need to show up every day because like there's no stability in acting. Like truthfully, right?
Sure.
There's contracts which are nice.
Yeah. But that could end like that.
Right. Like you can give the best performance all season long and for some reason, who knows why, a show doesn't get picked up again.
Or you get killed off.
Right.
Especially on a show like ours.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Maybe that's part of a climax that will drive the rest of the series, like Opie. I felt like his death drove the series.
Exactly.
Right? You know what I mean?
Of course.
And so it's like you never know. And it's just this crazy space where you just have to be good and ready at all times. It's like I keep doing baseball references, but like imagine the pinch hitter, right? Like you have to be like when you get called to the plate,
you're expected to perform.
When Jacques Peterson gets called, he better hit a dinger or at least a base hit because that's when we need him, you know? And that's where acting is such a different space for me because I've never been in a place where there's very little structure in that. You know what I mean? So that's got to be an interesting thing for you because that's all you have at the moment, right? You're Clayton Cardenas. How do you like to pronounce that?
Anyway, bro, you let it roll off the tongue.
You're Clayton. You're an actor, and you're ready 24/7.
24/7.
Which is fucking outstanding, though.
Well, I mean, again, I don't have these other obligations, bro.
Right.
And if I did, I don't know if I would be able to give you that same answer I'm giving you right now.
Well, dude, there's fucking brilliant actors out there with wives and kids.
Yeah,
I
know.
know. It's so maybe it's just another experience that you put in your Rolodex of emotion, right?
Sure.
At the same time, you do use there's other platforms you do to I guess separate from acting. You're painting.
Myself, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I always have to express artistically one way or another.
Yeah, whether it's acting or something else.
Whether it's acting or something else, because it's, I've always had all this energy, and I haven't always used it to my benefit, right? I've used it for, especially the kind of lifestyle that I grew up in. It was not always the best choices for myself, right? But so I was always doing something, and over the years and through experience, I've learned to use all this energy for the betterment of myself. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm always doing some type of art. Right. Whether it's writing, spoken word, which I haven't really gotten into as of late.
Dude, I love spoken word. And
yeah.
I haven't never had the balls to perform it.
Well, it's interesting, man. I've talked to our co-star Richie Cabral about this, and what we're doing right now, acting at the level we're at, bro, that's the highest form of expression. Right. So it's like, for me, it's like, it's hard to go back. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see you go back. It's not that it'd be a bad thing. I think it'd just be a cool experience for you to actually do that. Yeah, because you're naked, bro. You're naked on stage, man. When you're speaking to however many people are in the crowd,
in which there's already, I have experience. I do public speaking, so there's a there's a space there. I know that, but I don't know that, right? Like, I feel comfortable speaking to people because I don't even see them, dog. Right. When I'm speaking, I don't see them, right? I just am such in my zone.
That's all that matters, then, man.
And my goal is to, in the space of, man, I don't even want to call it entertainment. I don't want to call it's like in the arts, right? Mm-hmm. In the arts of expression, I want to try it all. Like, I'm like the fresh dude. Like, I got very fucking lucky getting onto the Mayans, right? Like can't say I didn't. It's just opportunity met preparation, and boom, here we go, right? And so there's a full level of stairs I missed that I now want, right? I want to do other things. I want to try the stand-up comedy space, right? Like, fuck, why not?
You'd be great in that, man.
I want to try it. Yeah. I want to try it. I want to, I told you, I've been writing a one-man show. I want to try that because it's, to me, that might be where I'm happiest. I don't know if I'm happiest acting. As much as I love it and it's a
Right.
challenge and it's fun, there's nothing more challenging than being able to try and portray something else and have people convinced that it's real. Right? Like that's fucking awesome.
Right.
But you know, I haven't set my feet in stone and saying this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Right.
As something in the space, right? Something in the arts for sure. Whether it's writing, whether it's directing, whether it's anything, like for sure, I'm in the world where I want to be.
Right.
Now, am I in the position I want to be? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I fucking love it all, but I want to try the fucking spoken word. I want to try comedy. You know what I mean? I want to try more directing. You know, I got a taste of it and I loved it. You know what I mean? And so I just want to continue to go through the levels of it.
What do you think the hold up for you to go down the route of trying a spoken word or a stand up act?
Confidence. 100%.
Right.
I can write all day.
Right.
I have shit. I have spoken word, 2 different ones written sitting on that phone. I've had it for probably 5 years.
Wow, bro.
Spoken word, dog, like written in freaking rhyming formats and freaking everything sitting right there, bro.
So I mean, you're comfortable being in, you know, speaking publicly. So do you think it's how it will be received, the perception of others?
In you know, in the space that I'm kind of known in the military veteran space, it would do well. I haven't taken the time to perfect it verbally. I've written it. It sounds good. I've sent it to people and they're like, dude, this is dope.
Right.
You know? But I haven't taken the time to actually stand there and study it and be able to memorize it. And that's for sure. I've thought about filming a video of it actually.
Yeah.
That's something I want to get done by the end of this year, of doing spoken word on video. Why? Because I have multiple different takes, right? 2 different camera angles, I can cut, edit, boom, boom, boom. And so I have to go onto this little microphone here and record it in spoken word fashion, right? In the rhythm, in the
Right.
And so I haven't just taken the time to do that. It's a scary step for me for some reason, right? And I'm not forced to do it. There's no one making me. I was forced to fucking act, right? Like I was like, I put my foot in the door, like, you got it. I'm like, now I have to, right? You know what I mean? So, you know, maybe, you know, this thing coming up with Richard. He asked me if I want to do one of my poems.
That'd be great. August 31st, right?
August 31st. I could probably say, yep, and I'm going to do spoken word. That's a fucking scary thing for me. But then you're also giving me now a timeline and I have to fucking perform.
But that's beautiful. But I wouldn't turn, you know, this molehill into a mountain, bro. You know, I wouldn't put the pressure of, I have to memorize this. Just have it on a fucking piece of paper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And do it like you know, like an audition, you know, if you go down and get the words, if you need. I mean, even starting off, I'm sure your fans would love to hear just the audio of it. You know, I've released just audio of my spoken words, and people love it.
Really?
You know? Oh yeah, bro. Of course, the video, the visual is awesome, and
the emotion behind
it. They see it, but bro, your fans, they just want to hear you.
Yeah,
you know, they just want to hear you, man.
I know, dude, and I think it's, you know, a guy like me in my world. Of this kind of very macho alpha male, I think it's totally unexpected to see the poem side of me.
Sure.
But I think it's the most honest version of me is the different sides of me, right? Like, of course. I have a lot of, I guess, there's depth in my character, and poetry and emotion is one big one. Right. And I think you can't do one without the other. You can't live a life of seeing, you know, terrible things in combat, terrible things in war, terrible things happen to your friends, and not also see the emotional sides that affect you, and be willingness to share that. A lot of guys aren't. For me, I am. You know what I mean?
That's beautiful, man.
And so it's like, that's where it's like, there's a little pressure there. Like, I'm going to be stepping outside of the norm of my group and showing them there's other sides to that, right? Which is cool and powerful. Right. But fuck, dude. I've told myself, I think 5 years ago, that I'll do spoken word. And I never still have. And I told myself I'd do stand-up. I still never have. I have it written. I watched Def Poetry Jam, I think it was, where they do spoken word. First time I ever seen it. I was in a hotel freaking years ago, dude. And I'm like, okay. Right. That's me. I got to do this, right? There's something about spoken word to me is such a cool thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I fucking did it. I wrote one, and I think it's cool.
Have you ever been to any veteran events where somebody got up and did spoken word about an experience? Bro, that would be so fucking cool.
I know. I'm in a poetry book. I got published 6 different poems in a poetry book, and 2 of them are the spoken word.
You just got to let it rip, bro. I you know, honestly, to get it moving, I think they just want to hear you. Yeah. Forget about the video right now. Let them paint the picture in their own head. Yeah. You know, they've had their own experience. Right. You just put the words out there. They paint the picture. you know, and then you progressively move into, okay, now I need to step it up with production value,
Yeah.
you know, and shooting this correctly and all that.
Well, it's also just kind of like the baby steps, right?
Exactly. So baby
Yeah.
step that motherfucker out.
Well, let me ask you, dude, do you have your spoken word memorized?
Right now?
Yeah.
I don't.
Putting the pressure on you.
Oh man, no,
Yeah.
they're on my phone right now. But no, bro, that was my beginning.
Yeah.
That's how I started
In the arts
bro. That was my first form of expression,
Yeah.
and that really got the ball moving for, you know, painting and then progressively getting into acting. But I needed that, bro.
Yeah.
I had not had that release ever, dog. So when I first started, it was just rah, 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 rah.
Was it because, you know, everyone has their past, but was it because in your past it wasn't okay to be emotional?
Of course, bro. I mean, you know, people that grew up in the environments that we did, bro, it's not socially acceptable. You don't show that side.
Men aren't weak, right?
You don't show that.
But it's funny how that confusing that is for us, right? Like, wait, men aren't weak, but why is it weak to have emotion, right?
Exactly,
Like that's a confusing thing, and I think that's where we all grew up in this time where, like, yeah, men don't cry, men don't show emotion. You know what I mean? And that's a weird thing, right? Because like
sure.
I would never tell my son that. I tell my son, like, there's always a time to cry. There's always the right moment, right? We just lost a dog recently.
Oh man,
and that was, woof,
I'm sure,
boy. But when my 10-year-old cried, I was like, okay.
Wow.
Cool. I cried with him, dude, because I felt bad for the dude, and I get it, right?
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, and it's like, I also felt like it's okay for him to see me cry because we both hurt for the same reason. And hopefully he will grow up to say, it's okay to cry,
right?
You know?
Yeah.
Not all the goddamn time.
Sure.
You know what I mean? There's you know, you don't just cry, but like, it's okay to fucking feel hurt by stuff and express.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's beautiful to be in an environment that you can emote without being judged.
Yeah.
I think that is huge.
But we didn't have that.
We didn't have that, you know? and you know, talking about Richard Cabral again, man, that was the first person that I saw that came from a similar environment.
Yeah.
That was emoting, you know, and freely and not giving a fuck what you thought. Yeah. And that was huge for me. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, bro.
Whoa.
It's crazy. And you remind me of, like, I did a video about some fallen buddies of mine, and I hate talking about myself because I want to talk about you.
Let's do it. No, I hear you.
But it was a moment where I did cry on film, and freaking, I had so many people like, bro, that was powerful. Yeah. And I think it's because they're seeing the big man cry.
Yeah.
Well,
because they want to cry, bro.
Yeah.
They want to cry, but they're afraid of what other people will say and react to that.
It's such a crazy thing the way we, you know what I mean? It's an interesting thing how we're raised like that. It's like what they call it, machismo, right?
Yeah, machismo, and that's, you know, that goes through athletics. Everything. That goes to the military.
Yep.
You know, the neighborhood, bro. That's how we're
the hood
all,
for sure.
Yeah,
the homies, dude. Yeah, you cry, you're
oh
punked.
My God,
you're
getting punked, bro. And it's like their fathers are teaching them that shit.
Yeah,
their older
dude.
brothers, their older cousins, uncles, man. You know.
And so now we're in an era where guys like you, guys like Richard, you know, guys like Emilio,
right,
are acting and they're showing. You know what I mean? They're showing the wide range of honest emotion,
right,
that a lot of us weren't allowed to share.
Of course, bro.
And you see guys that are inspired and motivated.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's something that's so awesome to watch. But like, do you feel some of that pressure sometimes of like, you're not just acting, right? There's you were a role model no matter whether you like it or not. You know what I mean? And so is there a little bit of pressure there to represent your community, represent Latinos, you know,
sure.
that grew up in the same style?
That's an interesting question, man. I don't think of it like that. I don't put that weight on it. I know that is there.
Yeah.
You know, I know it's there. And the reason why I don't really put power in it, because like when I first started this, man, I had my closest homies just clowning me, bro.
Yeah.
Clowning me.
Yeah.
And that kind of affected me in the beginning.
Oh, 100%.
And then, but as I've, you know, progressively gotten into this and, you know, more as of recently when we've had scenes, you know, club scenes when we have a lot of extras, like people from the hood, bro. Yeah. They quietly come up to me and like, hey, bro, that was dope. Hey, man. And so it's like, so for me, man, it's like I don't put that pressure on myself.
Yeah.
That like, you know, these people are actively watching me. It is there though. Yeah. But if I were to start, you know, worrying about that, I think for me personally, that would be too much weight to carry.
Dude, and I think I do that for myself, bro.
What do you mean?
I know the veteran community needs leaders.
Right.
the guys, like people getting out of the military, we need more guys that are pushing the positive vibe, right? And also guys that come from the San Fernando Valley, the guys that grew up with, dudes like that. Everyone's looking for someone to follow, right? The role model to look up to, the person to follow their footsteps, someone to show them like, oh, if they can do it, I can do it, right? Like I have this saying, I say, if I make it, we make it, meaning like I have the blueprint, like this is how I did it, you guys can do it too, right? Yeah. And so I've put that on myself a lot to like, for the veteran community, like, look, man, I'm here to help as much as possible, and I know everything I post on social media, everything I do, you know what I mean, is all about, you know, hopefully these guys will see that they're not alone in feeling insecure and struggling, but at the same time, there's guys out there that are still prevailing, right? There's success, and so I tend to put that pressure on me, and so when I'm, you know, I get discouraged a lot. I get guys like, oh, bro, hope you get more lines this season, right? And I'm like, bitch, bitch, you think I don't fucking want more lines, right?
Course.
Like, but they don't understand acting, right? They don't understand anything, bro.
No,
There's like, oh, you're on the show, oh, but you barely talk. I'm like, yeah, bro, but trust me, I want to do more too, right? But I also know my place, right? I'm also fucking, this is all part of the game, as in you have to fucking take your turns, you know what I mean?
Of course.
And so like, I definitely put a lot of pressure on me, and that's why I was wondering if you put pressure on yourself for that same reason, because you know there's homies that are like,
of course,
looking left and right, thinking like, look, bro, I don't want to tell people, but I would love to be an actor. You know what I mean? Of course,
you know, and again, you know, I know that is there. Yeah, I know it's there, but I don't let it influence me whatsoever. Yeah. The biggest thing for me is I don't give a fuck what people think now about me. You know, and again, it's cool to have, you know, I do understand that I am influencing a younger generation. Yeah. And the biggest thing that I would like to push about that's why I dress the way I dress, man. I don't dress like the homies dress anymore, you know? You know, that's why I emote freely. I don't hold it in anymore. You know, I think that's, if anything, if we're talking about pressure and people, you know, watching us and being influenced by us, it's that singular thing. You cannot worry about what other people are thinking about you. Yeah. You have to do what feels good to you. Yeah. Fuck what these other people are telling you, man. If I were to listen to what people have told me starting in this industry, dog, I would be fucking nowhere near here, dog. Nowhere near here. Yeah. You know? Yeah. If I let that affect me, oh my God, I would not be here right now.
No, I hear you.
Right?
It's crazy, man. But it is also a beautiful thing knowing that you potentially, what Richard Cabral did for you, inspiring, is what you are now doing for millions. It's guaranteed. There's little Latino boys from freaking Valley, from LA, that are gonna say, you know what, I want to be an actor, and they're gonna take the strides to do it. There's a few that will, right? The small handful that actually continues to go towards the goal, because everyone says it, right? People who actually do it, and there's gonna be someone out there in a show 20 years from now gonna be like, oh, Clay is the reason why I did it.
That's great. That's beautiful.
And that's cool.
Yeah, and you know, and I would hope they take it farther than I take it. You know, I was inspired by Richie. My goal was like, all right, he's taught me what he's taught me. Let me try to take it to another level. Right. I hope somebody takes what I'm taking, takes it to another level.
That's the same, bro.
That's evolution, right?
That's the same thing, dude. You know, I think I'm so early in my career, but like anyone that wants to like guidance from me, I give them everything I can. And my whole goal is like, dude, be better than me. Dog.
Be better.
Be better than me. Don't be me.
Don't be
better
like
than
me, right? You can take, you know, similar steps like I did, but bro, be better than me. Don't be me. Be better than me.
Fucking for sure, dude. Let me ask, man, you know that right now there's all kinds of cool movies out there. Is there a role out there that you find attractive, that you think like, man, it would be fun and a challenge to play that?
It's kind of a dark role. I'm so fascinated by these cult leaders. You know, it's like you have to have a silver tongue, man. You have to be confident in what you're saying. You have to fully believe 100% with no doubt.
I just saw a show with David Koresh, and it's like mind blowing.
It's mind blowing, right? The type of influence you have to have of these people. Yeah, and it's like you have to find these inadequacies and these followers that you have, and just harp on it, right? You got to be like, that's their problem. All right, let me go
Boom.
dig into
Yes.
that. Right?
It's psychological operations at its best.
I think it's fascinating.
Yeah.
I would love to do something like that.
Yeah. And so, is there a movie out there right now?
There's a Scandinavian movie. I don't have the name of it for you. Let me.
But
get back to you.
But that's the kind of role.
Yeah.
Something so like, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's freaking. That'd be fun to watch. I can see it.
Right?
Yeah.
What about
dude.
you? Do you have anything like that?
Dude, I want to play a dad. I want to play a role as a dad with all the tattoos, nothing covered up, and people see dad.
That's real, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fucking real.
I don't want them to fucking acknowledge and even notice it because I'm doing the character so well.
Right.
They're like, he's a great dad. Like,
Right.
yeah, because it's going to take time for Hollywood to see, and it's not just Hollywood's fault. It's the viewers. It's not anyone's fault. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm just saying, as you're watching a show, we all kind of tie into what the characters are casted for a certain reason,
Sure.
right? It's what everyone kind of appeals to.
Yeah.
And you're probably not going to appeal to the average dad if he's completely tatted down,
Right.
right? It's just not a normal casting. And it would be cool if there was a show where that was the casting and I was able to convince everyone, wow, that is a good dad.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not as like, oh, that's a tattooed bad guy in the back, right?
Right,
You know?
right.
And so like my goal as an actor is to not be typecasted, right? My goal is to play every character that's not what they expected and hopefully win them over, right? Every casting director, like, I know I've put in for shit I never should get, right? Because it's so out of the norm, but I put in for it because fuck you, right? In my head, it's like, let me show you. Let me show you. And I guarantee there's several times they're like, ooh, that was good.
Yeah.
Not the right time for him,
Right.
but that was good.
Right.
And that's all I want, right?
Yeah.
Like, question it, dude.
Right.
You
Well, it's
know?
interesting how casting. I mean, your casting story for Mayans is beautiful, bro.
Oh, it's crazy.
Isn't that? Tell me a little bit of that. That was so cool, bro.
It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. So, a buddy of mine made the call, right? Like,
Who's
that? Steve Howie.
Steve Howie, Shameless, Yeah.
bro. And we became friends on another movie that I produced, Range 15. If you kind of rate it, it's probably a terrible movie, but it's a cult classic in my world, right? Like, my veteran buddies love the humor.
Right.
In all reality, I'm like, I won't show it to my mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, it was a blessing to be able to create a movie, Steve Howie was on set a few days, just kind of helping us out, hanging out, and just kind of mentorships, if you will, And I was here in LA doing my thing, trying to do skit comedy, a show called, a YouTube channel called Dads in Parks, and it's just dads doing improv comedy.
Right.
That's what we're doing. And it's great. It's successful. So while I was here doing that, Steve was like, I text Steve and was like, hey, you know anything about the Mayans? He goes, dude, I think they're still auditioning. I was like, well, fuck, can you put my name in? He goes, yeah, I know Wendy. Let me see. And so, boom, hits up Wendy. Wendy says, we'll love to see what he looks like. I sent him a bunch of pictures. And she's like, yes, can he act? And I send a short video that I made. It's a black and white, and it's about veteran transition. It's part of my spoken word. It's just
cool.
chopped it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Very artsy kind of deal.
Yeah.
It did well in some film festivals. And then I showed him some clips of Dads in Parks, so
that's
see,
funny.
so see different things of me. And she said, yeah, we'd love to see him tomorrow. Boom, they sent me the sides. I was terrified as a motherfucker. Because of dyslexia, I get nervous if I'm reading it wrong. So I read it and I send it to my wife. My wife checks it. She goes, yes, that's the right thing. And then I reread it and I record it and I listen to it all night.
Oh,
right?
wow.
And that's just part of the memory thing. I'm scared of forgetting, and I wanted to read off paper. One of the things that Steve recommended. He said, read off paper, go in there and fucking be confident as fuck. You've done harder shit in the military. Just go in there, own it, and walk out.
Right.
I'm like, okay, because he didn't want me to go in there and kiss ass. He didn't want me to look fucking scared.
Yeah.
He just said, dude, have the confidence to go in that fucking room, say the fucking lines, and get out of there. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
So I show up, and Wendy's a freaking completely incredible person. So she's just super happy, reads about my background, completely like blown away by like all the stuff. And she's just like, wow, I'm so excited to have you. And she's nice. I'm looking at my wife like, wow, this is really cool.
She's so nice, yeah.
I feel comfortable just on that alone,
Yeah.
And then this is my first audition, right? I did one at 18.
Wow.
I did one at 18, and I walked out because I couldn't read the freaking script.
Wow.
Right? So the anxiety of that is in my head a little bit. They put me in the room. There's a camera there, and they're like, you ready? I'm like, yes. So I read the lines, and it was actually not. It was a character that was kind of, obviously these are all fake characters.
Yeah, dummy size.
Yeah, dummy size.
Yeah.
And so the character was a little bit of a tough dude, and I'm like, I felt comfortable with that, you know what I mean? And so then I did the lines. She gave me a big old hug, and I'm like, I guess she does this for everyone. Me and my wife flew home. when we were living in El Paso at the time, and I was in between another show that I was doing for the History Channel, and money wasn't doing well, right? There wasn't a big check showing up, so really tight on funds at the time, and I believe it was only $800 in the account, and I get an email saying, "We would love to see you again.
Wow.
Can you come in tomorrow?" And I'm like, fuck, I gotta fly back to LA, dude.
Right.
And so I flew back to LA with a little bit of money I had. I think it was like a $450 something check, like a flight, right? Because out of El Paso, it's expensive as fuck.
That's right. You were still in El Paso at the time.
Yeah. And so I flew in. My dad had to take me, dude. And so my dad's pumped, right? My dad's been riding bikes for years, dude. He's a Harley dude, and he's like, and he loved Sons of Anarchy. Him and my mom are just huge fans. And so he's just like, "Sonny, I'll drive you." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure you will, dude." You know what I mean? And so I bring him. He's in the waiting room, and dude, the anxiety of thinking of Kurt Sutter in the room I was still thinking. I'm hearing Steve Howie in my head say, "Just fucking act like you don't give a fuck and go in there and do it."
So wait, hold on. So was it Kurt and Wendy, or was this the whole group thing that the guys did?
It was just it was a whole it was just Kurt and Wendy.
Wow.
Which was, I don't even know what the fuck the whole group thing is. Like when they were telling me, I'm like, that sounds crazy.
I don't either.
Yeah. Cause so it's just Kurt and Wendy, dude. And first time seeing Kurt in person, I'm intimidated by the motherfucker,
For sure,
right?
I was too,
Because
bro.
I just don't like. He doesn't look like he gives a fuck about me either. And I'm like, oh God, you know what I mean? Like, and now I have two characters, kind of a funnier dude and the tough guy again, right? And so I hit the tough guy. I felt all right with it. Then I hit the funny guy, and he said, "Do that one again." And I did it, and when I did it, I kind of blacked out on whatever I said, and everyone starts laughing in the room, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I think I said my lines." like that's how you debate, right? And then I shook his hand, I shook her hand, I said, "Thank you so much," and I told my dad, I was like, "Let's go." He's like, "How'd you do?" I was like, "I think I did good." And as we're walking out of the office, my dad's kind of jumping on my back, excited, and kind of giving the headlock kind of thing, and I'm hugging him, and we just walked to the car, and it was this fucking cool moment with me and my dad. And I was kind of laughing about it because I was like, man, he was really excited, but so was I. And it was a cool moment for us. And I find out Wendy calls and tells me I got the part.
Wow.
And tells me, it helped a lot that your dad and you have such a good relationship because Kurt was watching from the window.
Oh my fucking God, bro.
And saw me and my dad.
That's fucking beautiful.
Hugging it out. And it was fucking cool, dude. It was crazy. It was kind of destiny, right? It was one of those weird things, bro. And Kurt saw the genuineness of who I was, right? I guess he kind of saw through all the bullshit.
I know I think he's the best at that, seeing through all the bullshit.
Yeah,
man,
and he saw like, man, what a genuine fucking dude. 4 days later, dude, we're starting the first fucking pilot.
That was it.
Crazy,
That's
and I'm fucking
beautiful.
I was Pez.
I remember you were Pez, bro.
Pez, a prospect.
Yeah, nobody even talked to you.
No, dog.
We had no idea who you were.
Nobody did.
I thought you were like background extra.
Bro, everyone looked at me like I was a fucking like, who is this fucking loser, right? and the funniest thing, bro, I don't know if I told you this. The first day we're there and Kurt says, I pride myself on this cast because you guys have more prison time than screen time, right? And he's talking about how the authenticity that'll show.
Right.
And everyone kind of looked at me everyone's looking at each other like, fuck yeah, man. Like really proud of where we're at now. And I'm like, bro, I was a prison guard and a federal agent. I might have been freaking, the dude that arrested one of you. Like, you know what I mean? And so I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, to be honest, I honestly thought about like walking out.
Really?
Like, I'm like, I don't know if I fit in, and I think these dudes are gonna hate me.
Really?
Because, dude, it's a bad time for being a law enforcement officer, right? Like, there's a lot of fucking negativity towards that, and like, I'm never gonna deny who I am, and I'm super proud of it. But like, if I don't fit in and it becomes a problem, like, dog, maybe I shouldn't be here, right? You know what I mean? And so I was like, fuck, dog, what an uncomfortable thing, because people were looking and giving the head nod, like, yeah, man, yeah. I got tats on my neck, my hands, and everything, so I look like I fit in. Like it, and so I'm like, oh fuck, they're all gonna hate me when I tell them the truth. So I felt a little like blown off by everyone, and it was cool, right? Because most of these guys knew, and most of you guys knew each other.
Because we had known each other.
You're all in the circle. You're all in the circle, right? Everyone's in the circuit. You've either had an acting class together, you've either worked together, whatever the case. And if not, it was someone with a bigger name that everyone knew. Yeah. I don't know any of you motherfuckers, bro. I don't even know who the fuck JD was, dog, right? You know what I mean? I had to look him up and be like, oh, I know who he is. I do know who he is, right? You know what I mean? But I didn't know anyone. I knew fucking the homeboy that showed up to the second one with the big actor that's no longer with us.
John Ortiz. Yeah.
I recognize that motherfucker.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All kinds of shit.
But like, dude, I'm not talking to the motherfuckers, right? Who the fuck am I to go up to and be like, hey, bro, you know?
Yeah.
So I kept to my fucking self, and I'm just like, all right, motherfucker, act like you've done this. And like, I didn't have anything really difficult to do, so it was easy just to be myself and walk around and just fucking. So I was pulling from when I began as a soldier. I was you're a new guy and you get pushed around, and they tell you to do all kinds of dumb shit and you do it.
Right.
And so like, in a couple scenes, I was kind of that guy. So I'm like, I know how to do this. Just be the fucking dumbass, right? And just fucking, just whatever, And so I'm playing it, and I think the first real conversation I had with anyone was with Elgin. You know what I mean? And he's like, tell me, he's like, oh, you're military? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, my brother's military. I'm like, oh, cool, dude.
Right.
And he goes, he's kind of well known. I'm like, oh. Well, what's his name? He goes, Jocko. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dog. Right?
Wow.
Like, so then I told him, I was like, I know exactly who your brother is, and he goes, what did you do? And boom, 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 we went back and forth. And then I think that's when Elgin looked more into me, right? And Elgin was like, oh shit, dude, I saw that. And I was like, yeah. And that's where I was like, I kind of started from YouTube, blah, 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 right?
Right.
And then fucking Emilio invited all of us to his house. And I'm like, all right, I'm going. Dumbass, I bring a bunch of alcohol to a place where everyone's fucking, recovering alcoholics, dog. I'm like, oh,
your whiskey, man.
But I don't know nobody, dog. And no one drank it, bro.
Yeah.
No one drank it. And I'm trying to be like, well, let me show up to the party with something.
Yeah.
Bunch of fucking alcohol. No one touched it. And so I felt like the asshole in the room. And then I talked to Emilio on social media once and just saying, hey, I mentioned really getting into the acting further. I'm not sure what I should do. He goes, man, just, get an agent, do your thing, and just fucking hard work. I'm like, cool. But my social media name was Big Poppy Official back then. And he's sitting there and we're smoking a cigar. He goes, hey, you're Big Poppy, huh? You Big Poppy Official? And I was like, yeah. He goes, oh, he's, feed me, bro. No way, feed me. And so then he told people that I was military and border patrol and everything else, and that's where a lot of the conversation started having with everyone who was interested. You know? I think the only one that had a problem with it was Frankie at the time. And I was like, okay.
Frankie doesn't like cops, man.
Well, he does now.
No. Oh, he does. He's a cop lover now. Okay.
Yeah, he's converted. He sees the light.
Yeah, he's seen the light.
And I told him there's good and
some
bad
good
cops.
ones, man.
Yeah, there's good and bad cops. It is what it is. And I was a good one. I think. I always but it was crazy, bro. I think I didn't have. It's that pissing contest, right? A bunch of dudes in the room. Everyone kind of judges each other, sizes each other up.
Sure.
And so, but me, you, and Coco became close real quick.
Yeah, we got close real quick, man.
Yeah, and then JD.
And we brought JD and lassoed JD in there.
Yeah, and that was kind of crazy how then the reshoot, all of a sudden,
boom,
we're the
boom,
foursome.
boom, right?
What a weird thing.
Like organically just happened like that.
Yeah.
And like now in story, that's kind of like always our crew now. Man.
Yeah, it's kind of the crew, right? We always get pinned.
Yeah, I love it.
It's been good, man.
Look at you now, bro.
Look at me now. Oh, it's the beginning of whatever direction I choose to take it now, and I'm excited about that. But I think about you and like this show is say it's like Sons of Anarchy. This takes up your life for potentially 7 years.
Potentially,
8 years.
right?
Yeah,
potentially. Yeah,
and that's an interesting thing to think of all of us potentially 7 years
right
to the show. Does it scare you in not being able to really expand your brand? Does it scare you in being only known as the Mayans?
Oh, I don't look at it like that at all. I look at it
curious.
as this is my launching off point, right? I'm still fairly new to this as far as being known.
Oh, dude, in acting, bro, we got guys that are 70s that are killing it.
Yeah, and so I'm very grateful that this is the launch point for me.
Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna. If I let it become my only brand, then it would be my only brand. But I don't give it that. Right, I don't give it that power. And so I think as an actor, as an artist, it's your obligation, to what you do in the hiatus time, to the time when we're not shooting Mayans, right? You help expand your brand. Some people don't. Some people just want to be known as this for this, No, and that's cool.
That's not bad either.
That's not bad, man. That's cool.
So my question is, that I like to produce and all that stuff. Is there ever an idea to produce your own stuff, or is it you really love the space of just being the actor and just showing up and letting them, that kind of thing, right?
I really want to see how far I can take this acting. I really pride myself on what I do, and I want to be the best at what I do, if not one of the best. But down the road, I could definitely see myself directing.
Yeah.
working with a lot of directors, I see what I like and I don't like. And so one of the things that I do for as far as directing, I think I would want to understand the camera better, lenses and all that. I think that's very beneficial for a director. But yeah, I don't know, I don't know beyond that.
No, there's a lot of guys I talk to, and it's weird because I think in a different space, right? I don't know why, but I like being the director or the producer, creating from scratch and bringing in actors. Like, for some reason, that sounds more appealing to me. Yeah. Right? But I don't want to sell fucking acting short at all, because I want the chance to show the world I can act too. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think a great actor understands it all, but there's this weird space of, like, they say, you're great at a lot of things, a master of none. Right. You know what I mean? And I fear that I dabble in that space a lot. Sure. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I want to be the master at something. At something, right? I just don't know what yet. You know what I mean? And so a lot of actors don't want to step outside of the acting because they're still perfecting that, I believe. Sure. I think JD's one of those, really, he understands everything outside of acting, but he really is focusing on acting. Yeah. And I think JD's going to be a great director. For sure. I think he's going to be amazing. I think that is the next step for him. Yeah. He's a great actor. He understands, again, like I said earlier, he teaches me so much about camera. Yeah. And that's so beneficial as a lead actor, bro. But the way he takes command and he understands the story, He doesn't just know his own character, he knows your character, bro. No, it's it's one thing I've learned is intent. And I was actually writing a speech based on just intent, right? Like, intent is a simple word with so much gravity behind it. So much. And if that alone, as an actor, if you can understand your intent in every scene, you would be that much more. Oh, for sure. And that's really good for people that it's good for everybody. Right. But even if you don't have lines and you have intent, you see it all in the eyes, man. You see it all in the energy, bro. 100%. That's something that I try and be aware of. Right. Because it's like, hey, I'm in the scene. I have to be in the scene, not for only me, but for you. You know what I mean? But I think people who are listening intent with their own lives is just as important too, right? Like, take that outside into our personal lives. You've made the intent to focus on acting, right? You know what I mean? If and why? Because the intent is to be better at acting, right? And that's something that's really important for everyone to do, is kind of take control of their life and have a reason for why they're doing it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. It gives reason and gives purpose and gives direction. Yep. That's huge. A lot of people don't have that and feel lost in life. Like, and that's, so I was like, man, that's such a good word for what I try and describe to people that are like unmotivated or just can't find the motivation or inspiration to do more, right? They're like, I want to get a job, whatever the case. Like, what's the intent, right? And like, know that, because that gives you motivation, that gives you inspiration, that gives you direction, that gives you purpose. All that, which is having the intent. Like, what is the intent of what you're doing? That's a very defined fucking word that in acting is important, but I think in our personal lives as well. Powerful, beautiful. Fucking A, man. Beautiful said. Fuck yeah. Yeah. Well, bro, we're here at the hour, dude. We did an hour. That was quick, man. Quick as fuck, man. I know, and I feel bad because I talked a lot about myself. I didn't want to do that. It's nice to hear about you. No, but let me ask, what? You're single. I'm single right now. Yeah, and you plan it, because I know all the women want to ask that question. Oh man, they wanted me to ask that. We know that. That was one of the ones they asked. Like, what's your lady? Who was this? When we did the Twitter back in the day, and everyone was like, what's this lady situation? Right. Single. I'm single right now, man. I'm staying single. I'm focusing 100% on Mayans. That's good. And I like it like that right now. Yeah. Again, like, it's hard for me to sacrifice my time because I give this everything I got. You know? And so I'm single for the time being, but once we get wrapped, then we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, man. Nice. Yeah. You ever want kids? Of course. Yeah. Oh, I don't know how many. I don't know if I want a tribe like you. Maybe just like a golf team, a tennis team. One or two. Yeah. Yeah, one or two. That's cool. Man. That's cool. It was great talking with you, bro. I appreciate it, man. No, as for always. Sure, man. Yeah. That's people who don't know your social medias. My social media for Twitter is at Cardenas Clayton. For Instagram, it is Clayton Cardenas. Facebook is Clayton Cardenas. Super easy, man. Super easy. Find me on there. Hit me up. I'll hit you back. We'll do our thing. Don't get weird. Don't be fucking weird, though. That's what I don't want. Weird pictures. I don't want weird comments. But keep it coming regardless. Yep. Hey, we love you guys. Thank you very much. Don't forget to check out those sponsors. They're the reason why this podcast continues to go. All right, y'all. We're out.